Good afternoon. It's afternoon, or after 12 o'clock here today. Late start. It was raining. We ended up going to do something else this morning instead of staying out in the rain. But we had the tent set up, so it's been not too wet. You can see we stayed pretty dry, at least for what we needed to. So I'm gonna start stripping the paint off of these here. Or start peeling it so you can see it. It looks like it's definitely coming up. Take a little peek there. Oh yeah, that'll come off. So once we do that, I want to burn this thing, and then hopefully we can start getting the firebox, internal firebox, put together, tacked up. As well, we'll probably have to do that in the garage or something. Or, I don't know, create some space in here. Maybe we'll put the other walls up to keep it drier inside. But that's what I'm gonna do today. Got the parts ordered for the 4 thermometers that we'll have placed on the outside of the smoker. We also bought the insulation as well, so that should be here next week sometime. And then I think that's it, other than the grates that we'll need. A couple of hinges. For that, we'll have to get some of those too, but we'll buy those from the metal store. So I'm gonna get this thing going, and then we'll fire it up. So this is what we're at, the front half of it done. By no means perfect, but there's less paint on there than there was before.
That's what fire and wire brush is for.
Yeah, this around it did a lot better. This back section still has to be done, but no point having the time lapse going because you can't see anything anyway. We got the wood and coal in there to start our fire. This is the final look. We were thinking about getting the pressure washer out, but we'll probably do that after. I'm hoping it burns it off. It should. Why do I think that? Just because. Show what it looks like on the inside. I'll get back to time lapse because I want to see if the paint actually will peel. It's changing colors. Took a little while to get it started. Hoping to build a nice bed of coal, hot coals, and then just we have that wood plus a bunch of drier stuff inside of the garage. Fire update. See what it's looking like. Still not stripping paint on the side with heat. So I don't know, but hopefully this will do something once it gets blazing. And that orange stuff I definitely realize is like rust oxidation stuff on the cleaner parts. It's burned down mostly to coal now, but I think we've gotten it pretty well hot, and it's not peeling the paint like I wanted it to. The bottom is probably burnt where the paint is some, but not all the way through, so end up needing to sand it or wire wheel it or something to get it all clean. But it's definitely warm. Well, we got rained out. It wasn't going too good anyway, so what we got done basically is we burnt this. It's not, you can hardly see it, but it's not any really different. This isn't, I'll show it to you later, but it's raining, so we moved it all in. Welcome to our barbecue shack. It's cold yet again, but it's not raining, so I will take that. So what we will be doing today is the inside of this. We're gonna hopefully build it, get it all set up. So we have all sorts of heavy metal sheets over here. As soon as this big ugly thing gets out of the way. And then Alex's welder. But there's three of those longer pieces right there. 3/8 thick. Plus our bottom. So what we're gonna start off with is Alex is gonna hit those things with the grinder. Try to get them cleaned up, and then I will be down on the bottom parts, grind down the edges. Did use the torch on them. So basically what I'll be doing is taking off like that corner all the way down. Tarp worked out pretty nice. It did slide over. We had a bit more room between that back wall, but oh well. Kind of want to take the front wall off because it's not raining now, but it is a little bit of work, and we have the room here. So we'll see. There is the top and the two sides tacked in. It is heavy.
On the side.
Yeah. I mean, it'll hold fire. It's not quite as big as that other one, but
Yeah, so we get the other ones.
get the other ones in there. There it is. In all its glory. I was going to lay another tack down in the middle. Forgot we had a little bit left over on the end. That's where you can see that space. This has flat. Now just turn it upside down. Go in there. Next up on the agenda for today, Alex is going to weld that up as much as he can with the rod that he has left. And I have some odd end jobs that I'll be working on, like cleaning up the cuts in the firebox on that side, probably on that side. Clean up that cut there, empty that out, sweep it out, and then maybe get some holes traced for the connector piece between that and that, as well as the big side of that big old plate that we have right there. So, depending on how long it takes Alex to weld that all up, I'll just be working on those. That's rooted in there. There's a firebox, inner firebox, the right side up. And you completed the top two sides?
Yeah.
All done? So there's the welds. Extreme close-up.
Too close.
Too close. There they are. So now you just had to finish up the bottom sides and then the inside?
Yeah, just put a cover on the bottom sides, and then yeah, I'll probably just run something all the way through on the inside just to make it look pretty, right down the middle.
I finished up this all the way around, in and out, as well as the two firebox holes in there. And then I also am going to be stripping the paint off of this. This is the cap from the firebox that we cut off. I'm going to try to use it as the inner wall for the inner firebox to connect to the outer wall. So I already have the stripper on there. I'm going to hit it with the pressure washer. See if all that stuff will fall off. What we're going to do now before we stop is we're going to use some of the 2x2 tubing that we have. We're going to stand up our outer firebox, put some of those on the bottom because we wanted about a 2-inch gap between the bottom of the inner and outer. So we're going to do that, try to slide this guy in there just to see how it looks. It won't be permanent, but I just want to have an idea so then we can work on getting a plan for how we're going to connect the we'll connect that to the smoke chamber, cook chamber. it is. Just like I drew it up. So there's 2 inches between the bottom and the corners. So those 2 corners to the outer, and then that. You can see the tube is sitting down there. So of the insulation that I bought, there's going to be plenty on the top and sides, a little on the bottom, and this lined up pretty well to the end. And then the interesting side is over here. So it's pretty, I mean, it butted up, it hit on the top 2 corners. So if you look at the side angle, that's right there. So the question is then how to insulate up here at the bottom part, right through there. And I'll probably end up cutting some of that out as well. But we can figure that out. I like it. I think it looks good. But I'm going to go in and eat. This is probably all we're going to get done tonight. We'll clean up later. There is hopefully the last order of steel that we're going to need to get for the smoker. Probably need to get more for the trailer, but we'll see. But that should be it for the smoker. We got the grates, as you can tell, 2 of those 4x8s. And then this is some more hinge material right there. A lot better fit, and we were actually able to get this whole piece right there of the tubing, which is going to be a better fit for all our hinges and handles, which guys at Kramer Steel really hooked us up with. But it just means that we have to redo all that stuff. All the door hinges have to come off. So we'll see. I want to do it, but I'm not sure how soon. And then also got all this angle iron. So this will be the frame of the grates, and we'll put it on the side of the smokers to hold the grates up. And some more oxygen. Late start today after going up and picking up all the utensils. But what we're going to work on is we got the rod to weld that all the way up, and the big old plate of the 3/8. We're going to tip this over on it and trace the back enclosure. And then we'll probably end up cutting that depending if we still have daylight. It's like 5 o'clock right now. So we have some welding and some cutting. Well, look what we woke up to. And it's still coming down. So we're gonna have to work under the tarp or in the garage or get snow done. One or the other. Well, we haven't been doing too much recording today because we're stuck inside the tent. But what I've been doing, as you can probably see, that this is a little bit shinier and stuff. Move the paint and rust. So I got that stuff, and then top part of that. Alex has that all welded up, inside and outside. So what we're doing next is I'm going to clean up all this stuff here. It has a little bit of paint and all that, and get that with the grinder. he'll be over here, tilted this way. For the bottom, I'm going to put those rails in so we can set the inner firebox on top of it. And then we're going to hopefully get this in there so we can start measuring out the cook chamber side. And it's still snowing, sleeting, and the ground is soaked. There it is. I'm thinking I'm going to do that. Do all of that. There are the rails welded in that the firebox will be sliding on to. And then ground down the middle weld in there so it's nice and smooth. We are now working on this end. As you can see, the inner box is in there, so we're figuring out how to connect it to the wherever the hole will be. And the stroke of genius was to use the hole that we cut out like that, and then it'll be up a little bit, something like that. And you get the picture. So there'll be space in between here, so that'll be insulated as well. Probably just end up welding it like that. Maybe put a couple small pieces in the corner to fill those gaps, and then the sides just put straight forward. And then depending on, yeah, just like that. And then the top, probably do the same thing with the top wherever it's going to hit the intersection, and that'll be it. So we're going to cut that off, then weld it in there, and we're going to have a connection to the corners, go straight to the inside piece there. Oh, well, it's dark out. I don't know where the time goes these days, but we're gonna call it. We got that cut, but you can see the inside. It's not welded in. It's just sitting there. We have the 2-inch bar sitting, so that's about the gap that we're gonna have. But I think it's gonna work nicely. We're debating on what we're gonna do with the top, if we cut it in or not. But we'll figure that out tomorrow. But made some progress in the snow. There's not much snow left.